Countdown TT Races 2024. We're heading towards the end of a completely unpredictable week here, both in terms of the racing and the weather, which has been messing us around again today and delayed any further action on track. What it has done, though, is given us the opportunity to reflect on one of the greatest TT races in living memory. Davey Todd taking a sensational first win of his career yesterday in the Superstocks.
By 2.2, his first ever TT victory is in an epic battle against Peter Higgins and Michael Dunlop in third. What a race!
Wow, what a way to win your first ever TT in style and beating the two fastest men ever to have done it as well. I'm delighted to say we've got Davey Todd alongside myself and Cam in the studio here. Davey, you must be so buzzing with that. It's 24 hours ago now, but what's the feeling like?
Honestly, mate, saying I'm buzzing doesn't even cover it. The best feeling in the world, hands down. Winning my first TT is it's what I've dreamed about for a long time now. Been dreaming about it all day, every day, all year long. I know we race a lot of other races, but the TT's the one that you want to win. So to get that first win is, yes, literally a dream come true. Really.
We've had some sensational racing already this TT. But that was, without doubt, the closest. Like, there was so little separating yourself and Pete. At one stage at 0.5, it was just to and fro, cat and mouse. You were getting a few signals. Did you realise the whole race long how close it actually was?
Yeah, I knew it would be close, definitely. And all week long, Pete's really strong on that stocker. He's shown that last year by being the fastest guy of all time on that Superstock bike. So I knew he was going to be strong. But just tried to set my own pace. Ginger Hall, I got a pit board P1 plus 0 on the last lap. And that's like the last thing you want to see on the last lap of a TT race. But just tried to stay composed and get my head down. And I knew where I could be strong. To be honest, that Ginger Hall to Ramsey section, I've been really strong all the 2 weeks here. And then the second half of the mountain has been a real strength of mine. And that first Superbike race setting the fastest ever sector there, and it's a section I love going up the mountain. It's still in the back of my mind that's Hickey's strongest sector as well, coming over the mountain. But I basically come up onto the mountain, and sure enough, right in front of me was three guys: John McGuinness, Jamie Coward, and Michael Dunlop, all together basically. At that point, honestly, I was trying to fight with my thoughts a little bit, thinking that it was over. To be honest, I thought there's no way that I'm going to be able to pass all three of them and keep this lead when it's plus 0. Like, there was nothing in it, and just did what I could. And fortunately, them guys are riding so well. I was probably behind John the longest, and he fair play to me riding so well. A couple of places where I thought about passing him a good few corners, and he was just too strong there, and I actually couldn't get by. And
those last two sectors, David, me and Cam and a couple of the boys who were sat here, we were watching it through our fingers because, like you said, when you came up behind traffic with John and Jamie and Michael, he was like, right, what's going to happen here? Is this going to slow him up? And then at the same time, Hickey's coming up behind James Hillier as well.
Yeah.
And obviously you didn't know that was going on. It was honestly, it was so tense to watch. It was one of those like, oh, he could lose it here or he could win it. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was incredible, and like pretty devastating when you ride around thinking, oh, this is going to be the deciding factor. And in all honesty, if I'd have had to put money on it, I'd have bet that I didn't get it, that I'd have finished P2.
Tell us about the pass on Jamie Coward, because we saw you behind him and we're thinking, I think it was
Coming up to Brandish.
Coming up to Brandish. Oh my God, he's way too far back. The camera kind of cut away and then cut back to you and you're in front of him. What the hell?
That
What's
was
happened
a
there?
big move.
Now, to be honest, that's probably the most I've held my breath in a pass in a while. I've never lunged at someone that fast in my life. It's probably the fastest point of the entire TT course going down there, down into Brandish, and I just thought I've got to do it. It's got to be now, and I just picked up a slipstream, but not enough to actually get by. So I'd have to do it on the brakes, and you don't really brake into Brandish. You just have a small pull of the lever back to fifth and chuck it in. I thought I've just got to hold it on longer than heels on and get on underneath, and in the same breath you're thinking, I need to keep momentum as well, so I needed to like not brake too hard and like stop mid-corner and keep my momentum. But yeah, I just thought it's got to be now, and I've got to go through. I thought I'd get some sort of signal from the fans or someone, but I don't know if I just didn't notice, but I couldn't get anything from anyone, and Hickey come over the line after me, and he pulled up back beside me, we shook hands, and he said, fair play mate, it was a good race, but he said, I don't know which one of us has won it, and all the way up that return lane seemed like the longest return lane I've ever come up in my entire life. Felt like we were riding up there an hour or something, just to pull in and see where the guys were stood. And I thought they'd be stood at P2, and when I come around the corner and they stood around that P1 board, it was the best feeling in the world.
Oh wow, that's awesome to hear. I guess the TT's got so many unique sides to it, but that is one of them. You cross the line, you often don't know where you finish.
Yeah, that's honestly it. And I thought, I don't know, the fans up there, they were all just cheering for both of us. I think cheering because it was a good battle and it was so close, but nobody was sort of saying, oh, you've won or you've finished second. So I didn't know, but yeah, the bit of tension didn't do any harm. I don't think waiting to pull up there and get on the top of the podium.
Maybe you set your name in stone now. You're a TT winner. Moving forward, is that going to change your approach to the races to go? I mean, it gives you the confidence now to know you can beat those guys head to head. Has it changed your mindset at all?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like it's made it so much easier for me. I was just saying to some people earlier that everybody was basically saying to me, oh, I bet you're glad the Supersport race got called off after it. And honestly, it was the opposite for me. I felt like I was ready to go again. I feel like such a massive weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Like, all that pressure of getting that first win was gone, and like I just couldn't wait to get out there and try and get another one, you know.
I'm going to ask you a bit of trivia now, David. Do you know who the last rider was that had a debut win with the TAS Racing team?
I don't know.
It was too long ago.
I'll give you a clue. He sat next to you.
Yes, I got a little bit of a feeling of what you're going through. I think, mate, when I saw you up there, it's unbelievably special because I do know how much that team are like a family. They certainly enable me to get the best out of myself, I think, racing around here. So it was really special for me on a personal note, not only because I'm a big fan of yours, but a big fan of the team. So it couldn't have gone to a nicer bunch of people.
There's just real good fun, like real good crack all the time. As I say, the guys are like mates, like family, and like you could see when I pulled in, like how much it means to them guys, like as much as it means to me, and they've had the faith in me. They put the faith in me this year, and had the belief in me to do the job, and I'm just over the moon to be able to do that for me, but for the guys as well.
And to have Hector here as well to see it, that was special.
Yeah, so cool to pull in there, and Philip and Hector are both stood there and get a photo with those two guys. The amount of riders that I've seen get that photo, and not just yourself, the likes of Bruce Amsty and DJ and a lot of top like TT names over the years get that photo with Philip and Hector Neal. It's just yeah, it's a really good feeling.
I know you're eager to get back out there on the roads as soon as possible, David. What's your feeling now? If we get another Superstock race, but especially the senior as well, because obviously Michael did have that little bit of an advantage on the Superbike.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get back out there. I think, as I said, the pressure's lifted off. I made mistakes in the first Supersport race. I was a little bit too reserved. In the first Superbike race, I maybe was a bit tense on the first couple of laps, so I rode a bit tight and probably not my best laps, where I felt like I'd learnt a lot to put into that Superstock race, where I felt so relaxed, more relaxed than I've been in this 2 weeks, which is weird when you're leading the race and only by such a small margin. But I feel like I can bring that to the Superbike race, a bike that's genuinely really similar to my Superstock bike. So there's not too much difference, and then the Superbike just goes a little faster. So I really feel like I can bring that Superstock form into the senior, hopefully, and try and battle for another top step.
Mate, that ride in the Superstock race really was an absolute masterclass. It was brilliant to watch. Look forward to seeing what you can do out there in the rest of them.
I look forward to it too.
Yeah, thanks so much, David. We're all so pleased for you. It has been a week that this guy will never forget. And of course, it all started last Saturday in the Super Sports. We'll bring you that one after the break. 'This year's Isle of Man TT was a huge one for the world-famous Dunlop family, with Michael sitting just one win away from his Uncle Joey's all-time win record of 26 TT victories. His first chance to equal it came in the Monster Energy Supersport TT Race 1.
37.73 miles off the TT, coming up 4 times 150.92 miles. Cameron, this is by no means a foregone conclusion.
Absolutely not. Had a short practice qualifying week. Now we're down to this first race in perfect conditions. Leading off the road, number 1, Paul Jordan on the Jackson Racing Honda CBR 600.
Away from the line on Glen Crutchery Road, of course, down to St Ninian's Crossroads, and then flat out down Bray Hill. Jamie Coward heads off on the number 2, and Dean Harrison on the number 3. Swapping machinery in the factory Honda team this year.
This will be his first ever race on Honda machinery around the TT course.
There goes Dunlop. Can he call the record today?
Actually, number 4, after missing a couple of TTs, he's back.
Good to see him back, isn't it? Davey Todd on the Ducati 955. The big twin listens to the different sound here.
You're right on board. Dean Harrison, his first ever race on the Honda, and he's certainly looking comfortable on this new machine to him. CBR 600, the official Honda entry.
Listen to the amount of work you can see flipping drops as it comes down into Glen Helen for the first time. And there's been a new section of tarmac laid in here as well, which has made a difference. There it is. Here comes Peter Hickman. Harrison, the leader at the moment, by 3.1. And now Hilliard's actually come through and slotted in 1.6 back.
Well, Dean Harrison leading now. We didn't expect that. He fourth fastest at the end of the Super Sport session, but struggling a little bit through lack of bike time on that machine. Great to see him so strong on the Honda straight away.
Well, you said he looked comfortable. He certainly is.
Josh Brooks for the R6 Yamaha. But that's Davey Todd closing the gap on the Ducati. We're yet to see what that V2 Ducati can do around the TT course. As watch Peter Hickman aboard the Triumph. He will traditionally be one of the favourites, but he's a little bit further down the standings on that first lap than I expected him to be.
Harrison leads by 0.6 of a second from Davey Todd, and Michael Dunlop just 0.7 behind Todd. So less than 1.5 seconds between the top 3. What a way to kick off race week. Got back is Todd now, and still, yeah, so that 1.7. So 1.7 across the top 3. Gap's opening up just a little bit. Harrison is flying here.
He certainly is. I don't think any of us expected this on the way to the Craig. Oh my goodness, that is a huge move. That would be a big move with short circuit racing.
That is outrageous. That is a high-speed, bumpy braking zone. Yeah, he will have lost a bit of time in terms of exit speed, but it's more important to tick these riders off. And here comes Dunlop. Are we going to see it this time? We are. There's the famous front wheel landing.
Yeah, it's not the orthodox way to take it, but it works.
So for Lethbridge, Dunlop has taken the lead. Dean Harrison has dropped 0.5 of a second back. He's right on board with him now. And this is what's costing him time, potentially, Cam. Coward comes back past on the right-hand side again.
He's drafting past him. Oh, down Solby Straight. This is incredible to see, but I tell you, Dean's not going to throw in the towel. He's going to want to get back past again. He's hungry. You see Josh Brooks. He's past Dan Hutchinson. Over Blackbridge. Josh looking very deep on board the Russell Racing R6 Yamaha this year.
Dunlop coming through the splits. What is the gap going to be? He was shown as the leader last time at Black. And he leads now by 2.4, so the gap is opening up. Harrison's losing more time, and Dunlop is looking super comfortable. Out wide, Lern.
Yeah, you can see the body language. He looks angry on the bike, as he always does when he's riding fast.
I love the look back, Cam, because he must know there's nobody there, but the habit of the man is just, I want to have a look anyway.
David Todd on the Ducati. Low revving engine.
He's gone P2. He's gone P2. Todd moves up to second. He's ahead of Dean Harrison now, so Todd on the Ducati is ahead of Dean Harrison. Still, they're only split by 2.5 seconds as we approach the halfway point of this Supersport encounter. On to the start, finish straight now, Glen Crutchery Road, coming in for the pit stops. Harrison back in late on the brakes. Harrison then will pull up to his spot. The crew will hook up the fuel. Cam, no tyre changes on these machines.
No, just a visor and a refuel. Look how many bugs on the front of that bike. And of course, 60 km/h pit lane limit, or they get a hefty time penalty.
He's having a bit of a chat here. Quick adjustment to the helmet. In comes Michael Dunlop. Dunlop looks down his limiter too. Well, our leader's heading out for the second half of the race, of course. 2 more laps to go. Time in the pits really dictated by how long it takes to get that gravity-fed fuel into the tank. There is Coward rolling back to the holding area. So game over. Michael Dunlop, he leads by, right, it's 8.7, but Todd hasn't come through. Todd running just that little bit further down the road. 8.7 to Harrison. Where is Davey Todd as he comes through and triggers the split? 5.5. So the gap's holding steady about 5.5 now. Dunlop's looking comfortable.
Back to James Hind. He's in an absolutely sensational position at the moment. P5 for the young lad.
Fantastic. Absolutely stunning performance. Harrison, we're not seeing Hickman, an issue with his transponder. He is still circulating. As you swap back to see Dunlop. 15 seconds the gap now to Harrison. To Harrison, I wonder if he's just wound it out a little bit. He may be aware of what the situation is. This man, though, has not Davey Todd. The gap was 4.1. Can he make it any smaller? It's 3.9. Another 0.2 of a second for Todd. He's tucked right in. He's on an absolute mission.
Yeah, that Ducati's stretching its legs and closing the gap up to Michael Dunlop.
There are just 20 miles remaining. The Monster Energy Super Sport race here, the opening race of 2024's TT. You ride on board with Davey Todd, who is battling for the win. He got the gap down to 3.9. Now he passes Paul Jordan. Not held up. The time's dropped. 6.4. So I'm sure it wasn't just that one pass, Cameron, but Dunlop seems to have gone up a gear.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Dunlop has responded. He wants this win.
It's been an absolutely brilliant day for Dunlop. He was threatened early on, of course. Dean Harrison made the early running on lap 1. Got into a bit of a battle and maybe dropped out of contention. I don't know if anyone was expecting Davey Todd to get into the mix as he did, and we ride on board with Todd now, but he has proved the speed he's had all week in practice that he's going to be reckoned with on race week as well.
Yeah, he certainly will.
Dunlop into Governor's Dip around the right-hander. Last year, with such an incredible start to the TT, everybody thought that he might equal his incredible Uncle Joey's record, but it didn't go his way. This year, 2024, he wins the first encounter of the week, and that is 26, equaling that tally. Confirmation then of the results. At the top of the table, Michael Dunlop with his 26th TT win ahead of Davey Todd and Dean Harrison. James Hillier fourth. Brilliant performance from James Hind in fifth. 5 manufacturers in the top 5.
Equal Joey's record's always been something that's been playing on our mind all week, and well, it's everybody's mind, I think. So yeah, fantastic. There's not much more I could do. Well, no matter whatever happens in life, everybody's always wanted to get to Joey's record, and I've got to it. So it's for me, it's something special.
Plenty more racing still to come here, we hope, Cam, but for the time being, a chance to reflect on an historic moment for Michael Dunlop and his whole family. A huge achievement for them.
Yeah, it certainly was. Incredible. It was a brilliant race. We knew he was going to be strong in that Super Sport class, but he didn't have it easy. Dean Harrison took off at the start and led. I mean, it wasn't until mid-lap 2 before Michael took the lead, but once he did, he really showed him a clear set of heels as he took off to take that win and record that victory, and as we saw afterwards, release the pressure that had been obviously building up and the tension that the pressure he put on himself, to eclipse that milestone.
Yeah, big weight off his shoulders for Michael Dunlop, which meant that he went into the Superbike race with less pressure and more confidence. We'll bring you that one after the break. But man, where the fickle weather continues to mess around with the race schedule here, and Friday's action was put on a lengthy hold. In the absence of anything happening out on the roads, then a chance to reflect on what was an all-time classic Superbike Sunday.
And Michael Dunlop heading off at number 6. With dominance in Supersport. We know how quickly he's ran. He's equalled the 26 record of his Uncle Joey. Can he make it 27?
Maybe tired of all the Milwaukee BMW off the line there to a clean start.
Todd, of course, is joining the Big Four, isn't he? And this man is arguably the top of the Big Four. I'd say with Dunlop, they took 4 wins apiece last time here.
We're down through Kirk Michael. First lap.
He's catching Coward already.
Yeah, Dean Harrison is making up good time. We know how fast Dean is out of the blocks. He was blindingly quick in Supersport, leading on the first lap. And I think he's taking a similar strategy in the Superbike race.
Davey Todd leads. Our first split, Glen Helen. Davey Todd leads from Peter Hickman. Very, very tight at the top.
There is nothing in it.
Good to see him on form, isn't it? He looked frustrated last year. Didn't like it going his way. We know he had a great Northwest. He was good on the Supersport. And now on the big 1,000 for BMW.
Yeah, he had some bad luck with illness last year, on top of all the other issues.
The commitment through there. Cam, you won here on a Superbike. You did your parade lap yesterday. I know we've all been ripping you because you had arm pump after a lap, but they're so physical. You know, all joking aside, this is a very physical race now.
It's so tough to ride one of these bikes for 1 lap, let alone 6. There's no room to back off.
5 seconds covering the top 4 at the minute. You're with Harrison. Harrison then comes down to end lap 1. This is incredibly close, but here is Davey Todd, your race leader at the minute on the BMW 1000RR. He looked so hungry the other day on the Ducati in Supersport. Can he take a win here on the Isle of Man on the big machine? 134.417.
That's Davey Todd's first 134 plus mile an hour lap from a standing start.
Incredible stuff. Can he hold on? 5 laps to go. Dunlop into the lead, but Todd still to come through. Remember, he nibbled a little bit off them on that last sector. So what's he going to have done in the run to the Ramsey Hairpin from Black Bridge? You said from the attitude of the bike that he looked like he was trying hard. Here comes Todd. Let's have a look. Oh, Dunlop must have been trying really hard because he's 4.4 up on Davey Todd. He has absolutely annihilated. There's the sector time. 3.9 in 1 sector, Cam. What has he done through there?
That is incredible. Sector 3, without doubt the most technically challenging. It's so hard to muscle the bike through that bumpy part of the course.
Unbelievable stuff. Here comes Peter Hickman. Hickman has actually gone quick through that sector too. He was only 0.7 off, so Hickman is winding it up. He moves up into P3 ahead of Dean Harrison. So this is not over yet. Oh, Coward on board. That's Michael Dunlop blasting past him. But you are looking at Michael Dunlop closing down on Dean Harrison. Harrison first on the road. Dunlop first on the leaderboard. Cameron, Michael Dunlop's second lap was sensational.
Incredible. A new Superbike TT course record, bumping up from 135.4 to 135.5. He is flying.
Michael is riding hard. He is pushing 19.2. The gap goes up again.
Oh, I just saw that back tire break away. Oh, shake of the head. And not the customer who looked back over the shoulder.
Yeah, so what's Dunlop not happy with as we see Todd come through, 22.6 back. Dunlop, despite not being happy, has taken another 3 seconds off Todd. So he's edging away here as they come down towards the second pit stop.
Visor up, just to flick down and look, trying to get the pit lane in. So here comes obviously Dean. Dean's on the pipe as well. Obviously he's been lapping with Michael. They're straight in with the fuel there. You can see Stephen Iffin over the back here. He's got his fire kit on, ready to jump over it. Michael asks for anything, but I would say on the pacemaker at the moment he'll probably keep it pretty cool.
Sorry, Steve, to interrupt. Michael Dunlop is in trouble coming out of pit lane. We saw his visor being changed. He's holding on to the left side of the visor now. He's completely rolled off at St Ninian's Crossroads.
Yeah, he's pulling over.
25-second lead is about to go. Oh, Todd! Todd's been pushed out the end of pit lane 2. P1 and P2 have had a disastrous second pit stop here in the RST Superbike race. This is unbelievable, Cam.
Michael Dunlop, he's pulled up on Bray Hill. He's got a visor problem. You can't change the visor without taking off the helmet. Can't take the helmet off without removing your gloves. Hot, sweaty hands, heat of the moment. Boy, he is cool under pressure here. This is unprecedented.
Absolute nightmare. Stopping on one of the fastest parts of the track here. Michael Dunlop is hemorrhaging time. He's away again, but the damage is already done.
Well, it's not just that. Todd's got a big problem. He's been pushed all the way down pit lane. You can just see him missing. He's lost seconds, lots and lots of seconds. So we could see Hickey or Harrison fighting for the win here.
You join us on the final lap of the RST Superbike race from TT 2024, and as you can see, Peter Hickman only because these two, David Todd and Michael Dunlop, had an absolute shocker in their pit stops. You're on board with Hickman now. His body language, Cam, since he got the notification that there was a win on, has been completely different. But Lethbridge, Dunlop, look, even with the heartbreak he's had, he's still banging in the fastest sectors. Him and Todd are still circulating together, looking at that final podium position. But at the minute, it really is looking at going the way of Todd. To be fair, Todd's only 1.2 off the back of Harrison.
We've got less than 8 seconds separating that top three. Now, Michael's 20 seconds back in fourth, but you wouldn't know it with how hard he's still pushing. John McGuinness sitting there in fifth. He's ready to pick up the pieces.
Fantastic. Hickman through the right hand, sideways on the exit of the right at the end of Solby Straight. That's the line that Dunlop's been taking all day, and that goes to show Hickman has really upped the risk here.
Exactly.
McGuinness has dropped down, look, just so Hilliard's just 0.2 of a second in front of John McGuinness. The Honda legend, look at that, picks up the front wheel on the exit. 52 years old, still absolutely having it around the TT course. What a guy. We're back now, I think, with Harrison as he makes his way up towards, it is indeed as he makes his way up towards the Ramsey hairpin. So this is the 24-mile mark, and he's just got one run over the famous mountain to go. Cam Harrison, he's only a few seconds back, he's got to keep pushing. On board with Hickman coming up through the same section now. Stella Maris, his lead was 6. We might get a split up here. We do. 8.5. He's put another couple of seconds into this. And David Todd's got Harrison, Cam.
He does. He's moved up to second. He was second in the Supersport TT. Is he going to take second in the Superbike TT?
What a brilliant start for his week as well. It is now the Big Four, undoubtedly. 7.9 down now on Hickman, but Cam, this section is so quick, it's fearsome, isn't it?
Yeah, lack of reference points compared to down the lower sections of the course. There's a lot more houses and trees and whatnot. Really opens up here. And also, it's been windy this week, and you're going to feel the strong wind up the mountain, buffeting these superbikes around as they're pushing speeds of 200 miles an hour.
Absolutely incredible, they really are, and that is why so many people are lining the road on the run down to Cresney Bar. Because these guys are just epic. They're putting on an incredible show on this wonderful island. 2024 TT has not disappointed. These first 3 encounters have been epic. Today's one has been absolute madness. As you watch Hickman come through, he was out of contention. And as he comes round now, he's going to win the Superbike race count. Incredible. Over the line, Dean Harrison. He's in P2, but wait for David Todd to cross the line because that may well change. Todd, is he going to nick second off Harrison or not? He comes down and crosses the line. Whereabouts is he going to slot in? Todd gets P2. Fantastic result for him, but this man, Peter Hickman, coming down the finish straight, didn't have a great run on the Supersport, didn't look like he was going to be on the podium on the Superbike, but here he is at the end of that 6. Hickman wins his 14th TT, and he equals the great Mike Hailwood.
Todd and Harrison join the 135 club. Michael Dunlop breaks the lap record again.
Yeah, it's just fantastic to be back on the top step, and to equal somebody like Mike Hailwood is, yeah, unbelievable, to be quite honest.
Yeah, we've been watching that footage all week and it never fails to amaze. Michael Dunlop missing the opportunity for that 27th win and Peter Hickman pouncing. But Dunlop would get his opportunity for revenge and another shot at the all-time record in the Super Twins.
Sunshine and cloud as we see off the start Paul Jordan on the Yamaha R7. And coming up next, Jamie Coward. Still 10 seconds starts in between them. And we ride on board with Coward off the line. Cameron, these are very different machines.
Yeah, they certainly are production-based, highly modified, come out of the factory about 65 to 70 horsepower. Most of these machines will be running closer to 100 horsepower.
Here's the man who's going to ring the neck of this one for sure. Michael Dunlop, after that disappointment on Superbike Sunday, look at him, he's tucked in, he's got his rear high up on the back of the bike, elbows almost through the tank. Look at him, already in the super slipstream position. And Cammy, they're going to need that everywhere around the whole lap.
Yeah, absolutely, as we see Don Hermanson head off the line, followed by Peter Hickman in the Swan Racing colours. As we ride on board with Jamie Coward. Now this one is certainly not medium speed, heading down through McGuinness's towards the Garrow top. Wow, that is a fast section of the course as we see Jamie Coward peel in through the top and bottom of the Garrow. Wow. Michael Dunlop now, you can see that rear suspension moving as we've got our first Glen Helen split.
3.2 seconds up on Dom Herbertson. So Herbertson's doing brilliantly here, P2. Hickman look is down in P5. Jamie Coward, who's done well in practice, is up there as well. So this could be a great result for Herbertson. Would be a first podium, but obviously 3 laps still to go. Dunlop comes through and he is 11 seconds up the road already. Nice momentum, nice wide line through the head. In the classic Dunlop look back. See what else you can see, Cam, in the background on that shot was the Max flag absolutely cracking in the wind. So yeah, you're right, there'll be a lot of wind up the top. How that affect the line? Aside from obviously the slipstream, and she's the one to duck below the bearing, how much do you get blown about on the big or the small bike sometimes? Looks like full flats.
You get playing around a lot, and I'm also in the windy corner, that's how it's got its name. You don't really change your line, but the bike just changes what it does across the track on its own accord at times, and you've just got to battle away with it.
Herbertson is only 9 behind Dunlop. So when Herbertson comes through, he is the nearest man, but Hickman has moved up a couple of places. So Hickman now just 0.5 off the back of Herbertson. They are both within 10 off Hickman.
Josh Brooks almost touched the wall on the inside there.
Here he comes then through, about to trigger the split. Oh, how nervous will he be knowing that he's going to get potentially that first podium. And he's dropped behind Hickman, so Hickman's got him, so Hickman has gone up and Herbertson is now in P3. Coward look is only 2.4, Hodgson's only another 2 back, so there's a great scrap going on here for P3.
There certainly is. What an impressive push by Pete Hickman from a steady start. He's really working his way through the field, which we all too often see him do, Andrew.
It is Michael coming in the distance, he's coming in a little bit sideways, as always, not the smoothest, but hey, he is the fastest. That's loud. Jamie Coward's bike is really loud. I don't know whether he's got a road next door. Michael Taylor, visor up. You can see the front of these machines today. The boys mentioned it in the comments. Hardly any flies around. No need for a visor change or new tear-offs on the visors or anything.
He's about to get back out on course and a high-octane reef swash for the dashboard of Pete's bike there before he heads out.
Coward was dropping down the leaderboard just a little bit, Cam, a minute ago when we saw the splits, the previous splits. Remember, he was 100 dots and a puff of dirt coming up in the background there. And when the other riders come through, he's definitely dropped off the fight for P3. Only a little bit. Dunlop leads, says 26.1, but remember, Hickman and Herbertson are going to be inside that as they come to Blackbridge. Oh, Herbertson is flying, and there is Hickman behind. So Hickman hasn't caught Herbertson yet.
No, he is not. It just shows how hard those two are going. We've got a gaggle of bikes coming up here through the bungalow. Michael Ruther ahead of Pete Hickman, who wastes no pass drafting past the way up to Howard Heights. And there's Don the Bomb, who'll also want to get past and keep that toe of Peter Hickman for as long as he can.
This is Rob Hodgson. That doesn't sound well.
No, he's off the throttle. He's coasting. Oh no, he was in such a strong 6th position. Bike's still running as he pulls off the course, so it's not a catastrophic issue, but enough to stop him in his tracks.
What a shame. Now we're with Mike Brown.
Or the RS660 looking down.
Couple of looks. Now, Cam, you do that for if you think you might be dropping fluid, don't you? If you've got an unknown problem, you're literally looking, can I physically see what the issue is?
Could be a loose foot peg, it could be anything there on that right-hand side, brake lever, whatnot, but there obviously is something catching his attention. Michael's focus now will be on race victory, not lap records. As Jamie Coward, though, uses that toe, and that gap is closed to Dom Herbertson ahead of him now from 6 into 5 seconds.
Look at the fans down the side of the road. They are on their feet for a legendary performance. Look at this. We've seen fist bumps all week long for Dunlop as he equalled the record. He looked like he was going to break it on Superbike Sunday, but it didn't go his way. There at the side of the road, look, you can see the pit boards are out, and the fans are applauding as they come around towards the end of this 3rd lap on Super Twin.
And now, Michael, we're just counting off these corners, talking to that pattern beneath him, saying, come on, let's just get home. Let's record that 27.20 if we can.
Back with Hickman. Nothing for him to do now. 21.6 back. He'll know that the game is up, and when he's seen his pit boards, still a brilliant performance from him being up on the podium, especially on these bikes which maybe aren't so suited to such a big man, and we'll be expecting big things later in the week. It's always hard to compare sporting eras, but Joey Dunlop's record of 26 wins stood for 24 years. Michael Dunlop equalled him just a few days ago, and it's fitting as Joey's nephew that he now takes the mantle as king of the mountain. It's 27 wins at the TT for Michael Dunlop. Wow. Wow, it's finally done. The pressure's off Cam, it's finally done.
Absolutely. Peter Hickman takes second step on the podium, and Dom the Bomb Herbertson in his 45th TT start, his first ever podium.
Yeah, it's tough, you know. I don't like to be sort of cocky, but we should have been 28 today, and it's a sheer disappointment from the last day, and I want to make up for it today. And we knew well initially in the first night, and the boys worked really, really, really hard, and I must say to them, thank you very much for the boys who worked all night. Just we had issues in the first practice, first lap, and they fixed bikes running well. We had a few little issues through the race that we fixed for Friday, but just to get that overall thing was what I was looking for, and yeah, I can't say much more else. It's took a bit of the dampener off Sunday, but not all of it.
Yep, it came a couple of days later than he expected, but Michael Dunlop with his 27th win, becoming the all-time most successful rider ever at the Isle of Man TT. Here is a different Cam, but nobody can take that away from him now.
Absolutely not, and you wonder where it's going to stop. I mean, the man is in form. Super Twins, a bit of a specialised class, if you like, compared to some of the others, and he's even dominant in that. He does not seem to have a chink in his armour, just going from strength to strength.
Yeah, he's doing it in an era as well where he's got some serious competition. Not that Joey didn't, of course, and as I said, it's impossible really to compare eras. But he's stepped up over the last couple of years. It seemed a couple of years ago that the likes of Peter Hickman and Dean Harrison might just move the level a little bit too high for him, but he's responded.
Yeah, when they take a step forward, he seems to take two. Without doubt, I think Michael's not only the physically fittest he looks this year, but also the most mentally relaxed. His demeanour, both on and off the bike, seems to have a little bit more of a relaxed feeling about it than previous years. Look, we know Michael, he still gets aggressive on the bike, still very physical, but you know, he's definitely smoothing things out. You can see that on the later laps in the race too, especially when sometimes we've seen him get more physical. He's just getting a little bit smoother, maybe a little bit wiser with age.
Okay, the record broken, but lots more still to come from Michael Dunlop, lots more to come from us as well. After the break, we'll show you another piece of history made at the 2024 TT in the sidecars. Baz, the Crow Bros.
Win for Ryan and Callum Crowe at home. What a brilliant result. Their whole family, the whole island will be proud of them.
The first Manxman to win here at the Isle of Man since Dave Molyneux in 2014. Ryan and Callum have been the toast of the island ever since, and we're delighted to have them here with us in the studio. You backed it up in race 2 as well, lads. We'll come on to that in just a second, but to get that monkey off your back, Ryan, first ever win here. After a disappointment last year, must have been a mega for you.
Oh, amazing feeling there. We come in confident, bike was mint, and yeah, ready to attack. So hopefully qualifying was good. We had a good feeling then that we could do that.
After last year, it really was a brutal run. I think you had some machine issues, but not only that. Callum, you clipped the bank with your hip and rode quite injured in that second TT race, which is incredible to get a finish. From the outside looking in this year, it seemed like it was just seamless, no issues. Was that the case, or?
Yeah, definitely. Our main goal this year was preparation. Get a bike done before March. Go to France testing. Make sure the team know where all that spares, numerous of spares, and get a feel for these new tyres. And everything got ticked off the box. And you know, it's such a good run up to TT. It was like, this is too good. And then qualifying could all just gelled into one. And we were knocking these lap times like we've never seen before on these new tyres, and we were just, what's going on?
Having set the fastest time on Monday, the Crow brothers raised the bar further, managing an impressive 118.814 mile per hour lap. Their fastest lap of the TT course ever, and from a standing start.
When you just enjoy riding your bike, it all comes. Like, I honestly thought when I was coming up the return road I was going to get told, you know, no 160, not that time, like, that's bang on it.
What was that feeling like for you then? Callum rolling back into Parc Ferme as TT winners for the first time.
It's still not so good, to be honest with you. You wake up a normal person and all the fans around TT will say to you, what's it like being a TT winner? But it's just a weird feeling, you know. I think because all the hard work goes into it, it means just as much to the team as it does to me as well. So we're all excited. Can't thank Ryan enough. And the way he drove was like he was possessed. Like. It was.
And you had to do it all again, of course, in race 2 as well, Ryan. I guess in a way the pressure was off, but at the same time Ben Birchall was back in with Kev Rousseau as well, and you knew you couldn't afford to back off at all.
No, you can, like my dad says, don't let race 1, the win in race 1, bring your confidence to race 2. Always go out feeling that, you know, you've still got to go 100%. You never get comfortable in your position. Like I say, Ben is Ben, and he's still the fastest man around here. He's still the man to beat. You know, yeah, we did beat him in race 2, but next year it should be a good race. You know, now he'll pick up his paces and hopefully get a good qualifying weekend, and should be good to go there, and it should be a good race for us.
Well, we're looking forward to next year already, lads. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the celebrations for the rest of the week. And I'm sure they're going to carry on for a little while. Just
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Alright, well, we're looking forward to seeing these guys in action once again against Ben Birchall and the rest next year, but we've still got more to come for TT24. One more day of racing left, including the big one, the Milwaukee Senior TT.